Okay guys, so I'm working on my journaling here and I just kind of wanted to show you how I formatted it. So I have a 4x6 template. I added a guide at 1 inch and then I created a 6-inch circle, and I actually don't even know how much of the circle is showing this way, because you know it's a full circle. What I did is I lined it up to where it looked really straight right here and let that be. So that will be this card. However, I'm going to trim this part off, flip it upside down, so the Simply Celebrating will be on the bottom going the opposite direction. It honestly might be easier just to like buy digitals, but I don't want to buy an entire digital package for one card. And I could try to just recreate it myself, honestly, with the journaling, but I really like this specific color, and I'm going to see if it works out. If not, I'll just have to do it digitally. So I'm going to give it a whirl. Okay guys, so I know I didn't really do an intro here, but what I have is an enlarged photo on the right hand side that I'm planning to connect to a 3x8 transparency, and a pocket page protector on the back of day 19. So what I'm doing is I printed out a version of this journaling on copy paper so that I could sketch where I wanted to cut it out and fold it in half so that I could make it even and all these other things. So what I did is I chopped off the bottom inch of that 4x6 card. I'm going to retape it back on with my Gina K score tape because I needed it to stay really nice and tight so that you can't really see the crease. It's very minimal. And then what I'm going to do is I'm holding that copy paper onto the back of this newly recreated 4x6 card and tracing this so that I can cut it. Whenever I try to print anything with like lines that are in a circle, nothing ever seems to come out correctly on on my printer, and I didn't want to attempt to do anything with the silhouette because of the fact that I only had one card, so I decided to just do everything manually. So the other thing that I looked at is where the journaling was going to sit, and I'm going to trim off slightly over 1/4 of an inch off the bottom of my matte sticker paper so that I can just line up the very bottom with the bottom of my journaling card, and then I can trim from there, which you're going to see me do in a moment. So if you have any interest in these sticker sheets, I have them linked in my profile for every video. I love them. I'm so glad I discovered them from Shuwen, and I've been using them so much in this album. They're really great for putting journaling in unique places. So I didn't do anything special for this journaling. I just literally created a circle, which you saw, added my journaling, and then I hit enter, and I just format it until it looks like I want it to. Like, I don't try to text into a circle or format anything strangely. I just work on it until it looks okay. So pretty happy with how that came out. Is it perfect? No. Could I have tried to do it all completely digitally? Yes, but I wanted to use the physical card. So now I'm just trimming the photo there. I end up off camera later, once I line it up with the transparency, trimming off like another little over 1/4 of an inch again so that it's exactly 11 inches. I didn't want it to be wider. Here I think it was like 7 1/4, and I wanted to make sure that I was looking for center when I put this down on there. So I'm going to use my score tape to adhere it and then sew it, which you'll see in a minute. I was pretty happy with how the sewing came out, actually. Looked really good. I switched my thread back to white. I've been using green for the past few layouts, but I didn't want to have a competing green. Most of this layout's going to end up being a monochromatic green, but I really like the way the white came out. It lets the journaling and the card and the photo stand out more, and the sewing is just like a subtle texture. I'm going to trim off the threads and then give you a slow shot of what it looks like up here. Like I said, it looks pretty good. I'm pretty happy with it. You can barely see the crease, and the sticker paper over it really helps to hide that as well. So here you can see I'm working on the left hand side. I had kind of done like a sneak peek of this when I was working on my day 19. I tried so hard to use that 3 wreath transparency and that gold heart. I cut out all the footage because I ended up not using it and changing my mind. But I tried really, really hard. As you can see there, I added some stickers. I trimmed them, I peeled them, like I ended up peeling them all off. I just felt like I just didn't love it. I didn't know why. If I would have just left the gold heart by itself, I probably would have liked it better, but yeah, just wasn't my vibe. So I'm trying just a variety of puffy hearts. I needed something with that 20 because it is a pattern paper, but it's just so plain by itself. So I'm going to add some stitching around it, which I did not film myself because it was getting late and I just wanted to get it done. And I wasn't really sure what other embellishments to put with it, so I kept it really, really simple with. I'm going to end up going back to one of the puffy hearts, but I'm going to use one of these old chipboard hearts. I think they're from like 2017 on the top of my journaling, just to give it a little something. I did consider one of the larger ones from the transparency set this year, but I didn't want to force something that looked a little too big because that's a really big embellishment with the journaling circle. So I attached my green stitched circle with the pattern paper to the back of the other one, and I'm going to apply the puffy sticker and the number to the outside for some dimension. And then here, I just need to back my transparency circle onto some white copy paper just to give it another little barrier because I could see the words through the other side and I didn't love that. I wanted the wreath to stand out. So I'm just applying a teeny bit of adhesive. I'm going to, I think I traced it instead of using my punch just because it didn't really take very long. And then going to actually end up doing the same thing with my transparency heart as well, which you'll see here in just a moment. So I didn't want the adhesive to show through. So my solution for that has been to use my 2-inch wide scrapbook.com sticker on a roll. So what that does is it provides adhesive through the whole thing. It's kind of like running it through a Xyron machine. So instead of having a little bit of adhesive, the entire thing is covered with adhesive. And since that was now sticky backed, I attached it to some more copy paper, retrimmed that out so that I could use pop dots. If I wasn't using the pop dots, I would have just peeled the sticker paper off and attached it right down to the center of the wreath. But this is such a flat, simple layout that I just needed it to have a little bit more dimension. And I love my Gina K foam squares because they are a nice low profile option. And I have those linked to my information for the video as well. So the last thing I'm going to do here is attach the transparency to the photo. I'm not sure if I trimmed the photo on camera or not, but I'm just going to use a little bit of 1/8 inch adhesive along the outside of the photo, and then I'm going to just attach the transparency down. I also repunched the holes with my 6-hole punch to make them a little bit bigger because they're much smaller this year than they've been in the past. So I've been having a hard time getting them around the rings. So if you have any questions, let me know. This is a nice simple one. I really love the monochromatic greens. I think it came out awesome, and I can't wait to figure out what my day 21 story is, because now that I've changed my mind on to day 20, it's not really going to work. So I've got to figure that out, and hopefully I'll have that to you in the next 2 days or so. Thanks again. Okay guys, all finished here. I'm happy with how it came out. I ended up scaling back a little bit on my designs, but overall I was really happy with it. I was struggling with, I didn't want like a wreath, and then this was like too busy, and I felt like I was forcing hearts to go in the middle that like, it looked okay. I just didn't love it for some reason. And even though I thought that this could potentially go in a different spot, I think I liked the way it was green. It was the right color, and it added a little something, and it felt festive. Hopefully I don't regret using it, but I didn't have any other transparencies that I really wanted to use except this one, which I literally can't just keep using this holly for every layout, but look how good it looks. So I made myself not use it even though I wanted to. I put one of these puppy hearts from the advent calendar on the outside as well as the number, and then I also put this one on the outside as well with some pop dots just to help give it some dimension. I love the way the stitching came out here. It came out so clean. I had planned to do several rounds of messy stitching if I needed to, but it came out like almost perfect, which was like mind-blowing, so I just decided to go ahead and leave it. So the only thing I have left to do is just to mount these two photos back to back to each other so that you don't see like these white lines. And other than that, I'm pretty happy with it. So it's nice and simple, but it tells the story. I really like how the circle journaling came out. And yeah, I'll see you soon for day 21. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.